Kurt Buehlmaier is the CEO of No Regrets Consulting. I've met Kurt years ago, I think because of Wayne Beidleman. So you've been on the show, but it's been about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while. Mm-hmm.
Tell people exactly what it is you do, my friend.
Well, what gets me out of bed in the morning, like Tom was saying, is helping people. I like to help people. I like to solve problems, whether it's personal, professional. I want to see people be happy and successful. Setting goals, getting them on the lake, and whatever's beyond that is really what drives me. I work with personal coaching. I've coached people from ages 13 to 67, and I work with small companies, large companies, government institutions. It's all soft skills, leadership driven. So passion is one of my core priorities, like Tom was talking about before. So that article was good timing for me, for sure.
Good. Kurt, let me ask you, the end of your spectrum of clients that I am most interested in hearing a little bit of a story, because I am passionate about helping our teens.
Yes.
Through Big Brothers Big Sisters and other organizations. You mentioned that you're coaching kids that as young as 13.
Yes, sir.
Can you share a little bit about why and what you feel about that?
Sure, absolutely. So I was in education for 9 years. I was a guidance counselor, dean of students, and a classroom teacher. So I really connected with that age group. And then as I moved on, I saw there was a lot they weren't getting in the classroom, and I wanted them to be successful. I didn't want to see a kid go off to college and spend $50,000 a year on tuition and then get a $40,000 a year job, or get trapped into something where even the money was good, they just didn't love what they were doing. So a lot of the young folks that I coach, it's college career focused. It's really future focused, because sometimes college isn't the path or what have you. But it's about finding out who they are and what their why is and really driving that forward.
I love that.
You know, Kurt, it's no secret that compared to Tom and I, you a young fella, right? You know.
Speak for yourself, Joe.
He's got more hair than you. I'll tell you that right now.
Yes, he does. Yes, he certainly does, Joe.
Where I was getting at before I was rudely interrupted.
Again.
Is that you're just wise beyond your years, right? You know, where does that come from? You know, because you really do have this true sense of connecting with people in a way that is rare. How did you start with that? Where'd that come from?
My father always promoted leadership in me, as well as my mother, ever since I was little. And then being in a classroom with students with a whole variety of personalities and skill sets, you really have to learn how to connect with everybody in the room, even though they're so different. When I switched over to the business world, it was a pleasant surprise to see how my skills transferred over. And it was like being trained without realizing you were being trained. I got Miyagi'd. So,
thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
So you've got a couple of functions that are coming up. Do you want to talk about those?
I do. In March 22nd, actually. It'll be down in Charlotte. They haven't picked a location yet, but it's for an organization called TILE, Technology, Innovation, Leadership, and Education. So I'll be talking about how to become an innovative entrepreneurial leader in the digital transformation age.
Let's talk a little bit. I pulled up your website, and something kind of caught me, which is interesting. And you said I can help you define the difference between manager and leaders. Can you do that for us today, right now? Kind of give us a difference between that.
Sure. Well, let's kind of steal from Peter Drucker a little bit. He said managers do things right and leaders do the right thing. And I'd like to take that a step further and say that the great leaders figure out how to do both. Right? You're going to do things right. You're going to hit the checkbox items. You're going to do right by the large organization if you're in a large organization. But you're also going to make sure that the people are the main focus and that they get what they need. And there's consistent growth and learning and development. And there's work-life balance and all those things. So to me, that's what the shift is from a management mindset to a leadership mindset.
Kurt, I've been interviewing a lot of folks recently, and I've been on this subject for a while, and I read a great book by a good friend of mine, and his book is Boss or Leader. And it seems like there is a transition going in our world today where people are starting to get it. It's not about being a boss. It's about being a leader, a mentor, a coach. And the boss title, do you see it going away? What do you feel about that title, that four-letter word versus that leadership word?
I like the leadership word. I like team leader. I actually probably like boss a little bit better than manager. because I don't want to be managed, and sometimes that boss earns a little bit more respect. But yeah, I think if I'm with somebody and I see them as a leader, even if they were in a position of my boss, I probably would just refer to them by their name.
Right.
I say, oh, so and so, as opposed to my boss.
Right.
So I definitely see a shift in that direction as well, Tom.
Talk a little bit about the morale of an organization. I'm hearing more and more about that in a business setting, more than I used to. Talk a little bit about that.
I just think that as we move farther and farther into knowledge work and integrating digital into our business, there's more of a focus on the people aspect, because it's not just a hard and fast and tangible item that they're producing. So it's seeing something and understanding passion and relating to people. And as I shift from a boss to a leader, I look at my people and I say, oh, well, they're not happy. And if they're not happy, how effective can they be? And what's going on there? What's the reason that they're not passionate about what they're doing? We want passionate people. I think you can hire the heart and you can teach the content afterwards, right?
That very, very true.
I just got a text that I thought was kind of interesting. Somebody just texted in, with a manager, I feel like they're important. With a leader, I feel like I'm important. I thought that was a good text.